A minister, a priest, and a rabbi went for a hike one day. It was very hot. They were sweating and exhausted when they came upon a small lake. Since it was fairly secluded, they took off all their clothes and jumped in the water. Feeling refreshed, the trio decided to pick a few berries while enjoying their freedom. As they were crossing an open area, who should come along with a group of ladies from town? Unable to get into their clothes in time, the minister and the priest covered their privates, and the rabbi covered his face while they ran for cover. After the ladies had left and the men got their clothes back on, the minister and the priest asked the rabbi why he covered his face rather than his privates. The rabbi replied, "I don't know about you, but my congregation, it's my face they would recognize."
Wow.
I know. That was good. All right, so today we're talking about, what time is it? I'm going to be rapido. And so we're talking about where two or more are gathered. We've been talking about community and talking about how a power of intention can create shifts and changes in our lives. So I thought, okay, I was looking at the intention experiment with Lynn McTaggart. And the reason why it works is because it's what we do in science of mind. We create an intention, and then that intention creates this energy, and that energy then creates what we desire. So as I'm being present with this, a thought kept coming up in my mind, because there's also negative intentions and positive intentions. So you remember the characters Todd and Wendy Weiner from Saturday Night Live? Oh, come on, really? Okay, all right. So one of the skits was they're at a movie theater and Wendy Weiner and they talk like this. Okay, remember that? Maybe you don't. Anyway, it was on the old time, probably Dan Aykroyd around that time period. So they're in line, all right, and Wendy's going, "Oh, this line is so long." And then Todd starts saying, "And it's so hot." You know, they're going on and on. "My feet hurt." I mean, it's constant. And they're going on and you're like, "Oh, shut up." And so it's really like that. But the universe doesn't see shut up. Universe says, "Hey, they want more of a longer line. It's going to let's make it hotter because they're declaring that. And let's make sure that their feet are really achy and tired, okay?" So that's what the universe does. So conversely, what we've done in here, as two or more are gathered, you know, Lily was going, "Rev, we made 30 people." And so we are, you know, we're there. And so we're going to up the intention. Are you ready, baby? Okay. So we have 35 or more people at Center of the Heart. Yeah. Are you ready?
Ready.
Two or more are gathered is that energy. And as we have agreement with each other, that creates that reality. And so Lynn McTaggart was talking about, I was pulling out a article that was actually, I think, written by one of the Unity magazines. But she says there have been thousands of intentions that she's done. So what she did, she took intentions and she would have scientists create the data, and then there's also the naysayers. "Oh yeah, that was just coincidence." "Oh really?" So the day that they did the intention is when there was less fighting. There was a story in, I can't remember where it was, but one of the war-racked areas. And what ended up happening on the last day of the intention, the whole thing shifted and the war stopped and they were able to come back into harmony. And this was a war-torn area. And in several parts of the Middle East, but they would take a specific area, and because of the intention, it shifted that reality. So if they can do that, how would you all like to do? I already gave you a little prelude what I want to do, but what we're going to do, Barbara Urbanist called me and said, "You know, Rev, we need to have a party and celebrate coming together and creating harmony in our government. Y'all ready for that?
Yes.
Because I am ready for that, okay? So we're gonna hold fire on the microcosm. We're gonna hold 35 or more people at Center of the Heart on Sunday morning. On the macrocosm, in a big picture, in the world, we are gonna hold that there is harmony, there is unity with our government. Because as you hear both sides, I'm like, grow up, okay, grow up. It's all about, everybody wants the same thing, am I right? And so, should that happen, should a few of these senators and congressmen shift a little bit, just a little bit, and let go of fear, worry, doubt. I was writing this down. So if they let go of fear, worry, doubt, separation, and they had faith instead of fear, they had unity instead of separation, what would happen? Oh my gosh, it would be miraculous, yes?
Yes.
And so that's, are you ready, willing, and able to hold that with me?
Yes.
I'm tired of it, okay? I am tired of it, baby.
Yeah.
And so let's bring it together. Let's bring more love and joy and peace into the world. Because what is our teaching about? That, okay? That is what it's about. We can heal ourselves. We can heal this. So, here's Marianne Williamson. Y'all know who she is, right? Okay, if you don't know who she is a woman that has spoken on the Course in Miracles for, 30 years? Okay, 30 years. 40 years. I have her cassettes. I have her books, okay? But she wrote a fantastic book about bringing government equality together. It's beautiful. So if you ever, I can't remember the name.
The Healing of America.
The Healing of America. If you want to read that, it's right now. And she's not talking about this is better or that's better. She's talking about equanimity. She's talking about harmony and oneness and bringing people together. So that's really what it is. So, it's interesting that she's running for president. Yeah! Because we need some consciousness. It's just, whether or not she even makes it, it doesn't matter. It's opening people up to another way of being. Am I right?
Yes.
Thank you, God. Wow. And thank you, God, through her that she's willing to do that. And she just said, Art was sitting there and saying, I watched her be interviewed. She's good. I go, she's a smart woman. This woman is not stupid. She has been in the public eye for years and years and years. And that will show you where she has embraced the love of the Course in Miracles, okay? And she's embraced that for herself. Because the first thing about us able to help heal outside, whether it's the government, whether it's our family, whether it's ourselves, we've got to love ourselves first. We have to take care of ourselves first, yeah? Because that's really it. So Ernest Holmes talks, and I pulled out my trusty, here's the science of mind. See how thick that baby is? Okay, so I pulled it out because I wanted to read from mental equivalence. And when people take the courses here at Center of the Heart, and we are a Science of Mind Center for Spiritual Living, we learn these different, I'm going to say, truths about what happens in the world and why it happens. So mental equivalents are really what I was just sharing about the Wendy Weiner story. The mental equivalent is that as she's complaining, she's creating more complaint. Where if she said, gosh, I'm so amazed that this line is short. Oh, and I have stamina, I could stand here. Yeah. And all of that. Oh, and it's getting cooler by the minute. Okay, so that's the mental equivalent. The mental equivalent is what we put out into the universe, what we desire, rather than complaining about our partner or our job. Wham, wham, wham. So when we do it, cut it out, stop it. Or what's the movie with Cher and Nicolas Cage? Moonstruck. And she goes, knock it off. Remember?
Yes.
So sometimes we have to say, knock it off. And I know Art wants to say to me sometimes, knock it off, because I'll complain and I even feel it and go, oh, this feels yucky. And be present with your body. Be present when we're complaining or whining, because that energy is going to create more negativity in our world. And if there's something going on in your life that you want to shift, look at thyself. It's not about outside of us, it's an inside job. It always is. So I'm going to read from our man Ernest Holmes, and this is chapter 17 called Mental Equivalence. We walk by falling forward. Water falls by its own weight. The planets are eternally falling through space. Everything sustains itself in nature. The only reason humans are limited is that they are not allowed the divine within them to more completely express. Our divine individuality compels infinity to appear in our experience as duality because we have believed in duality. And duality means that we believe in good and evil rather than believing that everything can just be wonderful and everything can be just harmonious. Because yes, there are going to be our challenges in life, but there's a belief in humankind that we have to have good. It's bad, or it's good, or it's bad, or it's good. I'm teaching the 4 agreements, and one of the things that Miguel, sorry, that's Dad, that's the son's been here. Miguel Ruiz says, is that we have to believe, like for example, he's talking about not taking things personally. How hard is that? Okay? But somebody will say, gee, Reverend Maryum, you are so fantastic, I just love you. And he said, don't even get attached to that, let it go. Or Reverend Maryum, you are not good at all, don't get attached to that. Because what happens, that's their perception and their reality. They have a reality within their own world. We have to have our own reality, okay? And so this is also Buddhism. It's also what Thich Nhat Hanh talks about. It's the Dalai Lama, Ernest Holmes. Because if we allow ourselves to just be present and allow ourselves to be within our own lives and feel good about ourselves, what's going to happen if you have that mental equivalent? You're going to feel good about your life. So Ernest Holmes goes on to say, here's my number 2. The whole teaching of Jesus was based on the theory that we are surrounded by an intelligent law which does unto each as he believes. He implied the necessity of faith, conviction, and acceptance. That is, it must be measured out to us according to our own measuring. We must not only believe, we must know that our belief measures the extent and degree of our blessing. If our belief is limited, only a little can come to us because that is as we believe. So I'm going to stop for a second. Lily and I were talking about holding the intention, together for the center of having 30, or we started out, I don't know, I think we started at 30. And then we're going to incrementally go up. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you go immediately to 80, I'm sorry, I can't believe that. I gotta hold an intention. I can believe and feel and see. I'm seeing it happening right now. I can get up to 35 now, but I can't get up to 80. I can't. So I'm creating the mental equivalent in order to hold that. It's like a measuring cup. In order to hold it, I'm seeing it filling up, and that's my image. I'm seeing it filling up. Oh yeah, it's to that line. Eventually it'll get up there, but I love it that we're here. I love it. It's increasing. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that in. We call this the law of mental equivalence. How much life can any person experience? As much as we can embody. There is nothing fatalistic about this. We are so constituted that we continuously increase our embodiment. It's up to us. We grow in grace, as it were. We grow in power, and theoretically, there should be no limit to the growth. But right today, we can expect to demonstrate or to have our prayers answered according to our belief and the embodiment of that belief. So when Lynn McTaggart was doing her intention experiments, what happened for individuals is that as two or more were gathered, she now has a book called The Power of Eight. Well, that's just really coming into a group. It's like the Christian churches have done for millennials, and they come together and they pray. And they pray for each person in the group. And so as they come together each week, and then they hold that intention for the week. But what they do, they hold an intention for 10 minutes a day. How many of you can hold an intention for 10 minutes a day? Okay, so you have to find a time when you're not going, oh, I got to get to work, or oh, I have this, or I have that. And you find a time where you can hold that intention. So as you do that, we find we come together. So let us hold the intention. We're holding it for the center already. But let us hold, are we ready, willing, and able to hold the intention for our government for 10 minutes a day for equanimity, harmony, and peace? You ready? Okay? And even if you don't do it every single day, it's still going to work because the intention has already been given out to the universe. The other thing that happens is people hold these intentions, saying, well, what's in it for me? Why am I doing this? And that's human, okay? But what happens is that people have gotten rid of health problems. They feel better emotionally. So all of that energy that they are intending on, praying on, then that brings, as we say, I always say, give a prayer, get a prayer. And as we pray, we are being prayed on. As we intend/pray, then we will get that energy and that harmonious energy back to us. So if we're wanting for the government and we're wanting for our world to look like that, what's going to happen to our world? Our world will be peace and harmony and oneness. And I'm just going to bet there's going to be a shift happening in your life because of that, yeah? Are you ready? You want to do the experiment? Because I know, I know. So yeah, you go, yeah! All right. I know, you guys are so excited. Yeah!
Yeah!
There you go.
All right.
We are ready, baby. Because I thought, we got 2 or more people. We have more than 8. We have almost 35. And so I know that we can heal the government because we are powerful, we are potent, and we are amazing. Because we got the Spirit of God is upon us, all right? All right, so I'm going to close with a fantastic prayer from Ernest Holmes. In his book, Science of Mind, he writes prayers at the end of the sections talking about the truths and spiritual truths. And what he did, he synthesized all of the spiritual truths from all the different faiths, all right? So it really was a way for us to understand it in an easy way. Well, it's kind of not easy, but it's easier than reading some of the other texts, believe me. All right, so here's the prayer. And if you want to just feel this in your heart. I know I am now at the threshold of all good wisdom and truth. All the good that I can embody is now mine. I have only to open the portals of my soul and accept that which is ready to express through me. I expect fully and emphatically the answer to my prayer today. Right now, I do possess this thing I so greatly desire. I remove my fear of lack and negation, for it is the only barrier which stands in the way of my experience of good. I alone can remove it, and I do remove it now. In this moment, my good comes to me, enough and to spare, to give, and to share. I can never be exhausted. My good can never be depleted, because that source from which my good comes is inexhaustible. Today, in this moment, The law responds to my thought. My word is one of affirmation, rising from the knowledge that the good, the endearing, and the true are eternalities of my experience. I cannot be apart from that which is my good. My good is assured by God, the indwelling essence of my life. And so it is. Thank you, beloveds. Have a fabulous week. Enjoy and intend and pray and know and create that intention. If you want to have the power of 2 or more, get a friend to agree with you. And that will bring that into your life. So peace and blessings. Have a great week.